Hey everyone, it's Michael. Today we're going to be talking about another classic Goosebumps book by R.L. Stine called Egg Monsters from Mars. Egg Monsters from Mars is one of the ones that I think should be put back into print. This book is so much fun. I'm so thankful my fiance got this for me. I believe it was a Christmas present. It was either a Christmas present or my birthday present from November of last year. I adored this book. I didn't think I was going to adore it the way I did. And maybe people won't like it as much as I do. I think in some ways it kind of just has all the ballpark home run hittings that I like in Goosebumps. It wasn't a scary book. It was kind of just a silly, weirdo type short story feel to it. It's your typical Goosebumps length of a book. So I don't want you to think I just said short story for saying the book is like super short or anything like that. Egg Monsters from Mars is a super weird, wacky Easter story. Our main character named Dana, who is a boy, I don't know any boys that have the name Dana, but okay. Dana has a sister who has a birthday. I think it's right around Easter, and I think it might have actually fell on Easter this year. I'm not completely sure, but anyway, for her birthday party, she wanted to have an egg hunt, an Easter egg hunt. And that's what they do. And Dana's involved with that whole situation, too. He happens to find an egg that is just laying out, on the ground, and it's super weird looking. It's green, and it has blue veins that are, like, throbbing, and for some reason the egg is super, super hot, which is abnormal for typical eggs that are white that you get from the store, or even the brown ones or whatever. And he kind of gets involved with keeping this as a pet, almost, in his, drawer of his bedroom, where he puts his clothes and stuff. And he kind of is concerned about it being so hot and everything. But it ends up, at one point, cracking open, and there's, this yellow thing. And the story from that point on kind of becomes like an E.T., type movie, or book. Kind of like that movie, E.T. It's so just bizarre, but in a good way. It's an R.L. Stine bizarre. R.L. Stine can take anything that's just bizarre and wacky and weird and silly and do something interesting with it. Whether you think it's good or bad is one thing, but it's interesting regardless. And I think Egg Monsters from Mars is a good interesting. The story kind of becomes a weird type of different genre as the book goes on, and, our main character, Dana, the boy, meets a doctor. It becomes a really weird thing, kind of like how E.T. does. If you've seen the film, you could probably already kind of pick up on what I'm trying to say with that. And the story gets weirder and weirder when we find out the abilities of this egg monster from Mars thing. I guess you'd just call it a Martian, I guess. But the more abilities we find out about this thing, it just gets more and more odd and kind of like, again, it's kind of in that Sharknado fashion. It's something so out of the blue. As the story goes on, you can't help but appreciate it, I think. I don't have a whole lot to say about this book. I love the cover art. I really do. The book itself is just weird, and it gets weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder as it goes on, which I'm fine with as well. I just like the book, plain and simple. I don't know what it is about this. I wish I had read it when I was a kid because it's so weird. I don't really have much to say about this. I totally recommend it if you haven't read Egg Monsters from Mars before and you've heard maybe about it, or you're more of a classical Goosebumps fan because of the humor and stuff, or if you just like more of the humorous, sillier Goosebumps books like Bad Hair Day and stuff like that, which I haven't read Bad Hair Day since I was a very, very young child. I don't remember a thing about it, so I'm just throwing that name out there. I remember it being more of a wild story. If you like things like that, or even to the Monster Blood series, I would recommend Egg Monsters from Mars to you. I think it's so wild, and I love the whole concept of this crazy colored egg. Because for Easter here in America, I don't know how many other countries do this outside of America and maybe the UK. We dye eggs that we go hunting for on Easter eggs, or hunting for Easter eggs and stuff. They're actually dyed different colors. So this egg, of course, at first Dana thought it was going to be, an Easter egg, but just the idea of it thumping and the veins on the outside of the actual eggshell and all that, it's just a really weird, cool concept to me that I love, and I wish we would get at least one more. I wish that since he writes all these sequels all the time, I really wish we'd get one more R.L. Stine sequel to Egg Monsters from Mars. That could be very interesting. Could you incorporate that in the Slappy World series? That'd be very, very interesting. But anyway, guys, that's kind of my whole keyword to this book, is interesting. The whole thing is just so you can't look away from it. You don't want to stop reading this because of how wild it gets. So, again, interesting is the key word for everything. What are your thoughts on Egg Monsters from Mars by R.L. Stine? Put your thoughts and comments down in the comment section down below, folks. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Is this one of your favorites of the old classical books? From the little that I have read of the old classical books, because I've read a lot of Goosebumps books, but a lot of them have been like the Most Wanted series. I've read a couple of the Horrorland series. I read a lot of the old Goosebumps books from the old classical run from when I was a kid in the 90s. The thing is I don't own most of them, and I haven't read many of them now as an adult. I think in the last year I might have read like 7 or 8 of the more modern books, or the classical books. So, I don't know. Maybe my opinion matters, maybe it doesn't. But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this book? Put your thoughts and comments down below, like I said. And thank you for watching. And yeah, Easter's coming up. Yeah, it actually falls on my girlfriend, fiance's birthday this year, which is very interesting to me. Again, the word interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today. And goodbye.